actually, I wanted to tell this very brief story. I was back in 1979, 1980. I was running the Children's Village up in New Hampshire. I got this wild. The constant challenge that I had was money, funds. Louise and I were taking a salary of $25 a week, and we did throughout the years. Actually, the first couple of years we took nothing, and in fact, everybody working there was working for $25 a week at that time, and which is not a lot. Although we got room and board, I'll say that. So it wasn't, but but raising money was a high priority, and so the National Religious Broadcasters Association, the NRBA, as I recall, was holding or National Association of Religious Broadcasters, NARB, that sounds more right, was holding their annual meeting here in Washington, D.C., and I came to the meeting thinking, hey, I'll go to these Christian preachers who are flush in cash, and maybe some of them will want to help out a community for abused kids. I was very naive. None of them had any interest in helping us whatsoever. There were workshops on, how to get more money out of your donors, how to sort your mailing lists, how to sell your mailing lists, how to, all kinds of stuff on basically how to make money in the religion game. And then was the keynote address. And I went to the keynote address. There was 3,000 people in the room. And Robert Schuller, the founder of the Crystal Cathedral, got up. And he was preaching from Jeremiah, the part of Jeremiah where God says, I gave you, he's speaking to the priests, right? I gave you my sheep. I gave you my children, and you have been a ravening wolf. You have taken from them. And Robert Schuller preached that and pointed out at the crowd of televangelists and said, there will be a price for this. And you could have dropped a pin in the room. There was virtually no applause at the end, very polite. And in the hallways, as I was leaving, people were saying, what got into him, and Schuller's gone crazy, and all this kind of stuff. And about 6 months later, the Jim Bakker and Tammy Faye Bakker scandal broke, as I recall. Or maybe it was another one. Maybe it was the guy who was the male prostitute and the meth. I forget which one, but it was one of the big. And there was a whole series of them that followed that. Now, televangelism is still a huge business. Anyway.